All right. Well, welcome, welcome. If you're still coming in and joining you, thank you so much for taking the time to spend your Tuesday evening with us. I know there's a lot of other things you could be doing, so thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and just go ahead and get things rolling. All right. So, for those of you who are joining, just to let you know, my name is Tyler Dew. I am with the North Carolina State Education Assistance Authority. We are the primary sponsors for College for North Carolina, otherwise known as CFNC. You might be familiar with us through cfnc.org if you have an account with us. We are doing a joint webinar today with our friends from North Carolina Community Foundation. So this webinar is going to be solely focused on North Carolina Community Foundation scholarships. And they have a lot of cool features and cool things to show you all for all of their scholarships that they have offered for our North Carolina students. And quickly, before we get into that, I just want to let you know if you enjoy webinars like these, we do have other webinars that we have for students and families that are hosted on our cfnc.org/events page. So, two webinars that are coming up within the next month. We are gearing up for FAFSA February. So, we are gearing up for Financial Aid Awareness Month, and we're going to have a step-by-step guide on the newly released FAFSA. So if you have not completed the FAFSA yet, or if you have any questions about that, we will be having a financial aid advisor walk you through that February 5th at 6 p.m. And then we are also going to have one of our associate outreach directors walk you through evaluating your financial aid award offers that you will be receiving from all the colleges that you are interested in attending. So if you have applied to colleges and you've received acceptance letters, you'll start receiving financial aid award offers later this semester, and we want to help you walk through that. So if you're interested in those, you can register at cfnc.org/events. And once again, this is a joint webinar with the North Carolina Community Foundation. And I'm done talking about our stuff, and I will pass it right off to Parker and Jordan, who have a lot of cool stuff to talk to you about. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Parker, you can take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tyler. And I highly recommend those other webinars they have coming up. That's very consistent with the types of questions we get all the time. I will also share my screen and go over to our portion of the programming. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. As Tyler mentioned, we're the North Carolina Community Foundation. We're a statewide community foundation, and we work alongside donors to steward their priorities into strategic support for communities across North Carolina, from Currituck to Cherokee counties and everywhere in between, to with the mission to create lasting and transformative change. And a big part of the outgoing funds that we do and the grants is our scholarship program. We manage over 130 different scholarships that are come out of specific funds that are established by donors with specific criteria. So if you can imagine, 130 different donors with 130 different ideas for criteria, there's likely a scholarship that you're eligible for within our system. So we highly recommend you seek us out. Last year alone, this is just a little bit of stats. We awarded $3.3 million in scholarships to 512 different individual students across the state. 1 in 5 of our recipients were first generation college students. And last year in 2025, the school who received the majority, or the highest amount, not the majority, but the highest amount of our scholarship funding, was Appalachian State, with 63 scholarships and almost $500,000 in scholarship funding. A lot of that came from a disaster relief scholarship that we offered for students impacted by Hurricane Helene. In our application, we launched a universal application 2 years ago to create a single application process for students. So you don't have to apply for 130 different scholarships. You can just fill out one application. And based on how you answer questions in that application, you'll be filtered into different applicant pools. So you might, you know, fill out one application and realize you're eligible for two, three, four, five different scholarships, and you're able to enter the applicant pool for all of those. Getting ready to apply, which is what I hope everyone's doing now. You will need to know that our deadline is March 3rd. The application for most of our scholarships is midnight on March 3rd. So definitely don't start working on it March 2nd and think you can get it all done March 3rd. It's a simple process, but there is some things you need to have in order to do this. So you'll need the email address of your school counselor because you'll contact them through our portal in order to request your transcript. You'll also need the email address for two references. And so those people who are providing you references for scholarships will need time to create your reference and upload it in our portal as well. So definitely allow yourself some lead time for both of those things because they both take a little bit of time. You'll also need your FAFSA student aid index and your FAFSA submission summary, which is the kind of the headline pages that are generated by your FAFSA, and the college you plan to attend or your first choice college and your intended major or field of study. You can choose in our application, you can choose undecided for college and you can choose undeclared for major, but there are certain scholarships with criteria based on the college you may attend and your intended major and field of study. And with that, I am going to stop sharing my screen and pass it over to my colleague, Jordan Barnes, who's going to tell you a little more about the specifics of how you apply for our scholarships.
Yes, thank you, Parker. I'm going to transition us into a couple of tutorials. While I get into that, a bunch of questions actually did just pop up in our Q&A chat. So, Parker, if you want to answer a couple of those, I would appreciate it. A couple of those we can also answer live. Um,
No
so,
problem.
I'm going to share my screen now. All right. Share that one. Go. Okay, so now you all should be seeing our web page. Our main website is nccommunityfoundation.org. It's specifically for students. If you navigate over here to the right, you will see the students section. If you click down, you'll see we have a drop down of a few different pages full of resources. The one I'm going to focus on today is going to be our apply page. And our apply page contains all the resources we're sharing with you here today and then some. But a brief overview, we have like the steps and some of the materials you'll need to apply and get ready. Our timeline, our application opened December 16th, and again, like Parker said, our deadline here is listed as March 3rd. Again, here's the steps for applying. We also have our scholarship search section located here, so you click your resident county here, and when you click it, the applicable scholarship opportunities will show. And then below that, you will also find our frequently asked questions section. We've got questions about our scholarships, the eligibility requirements, applying, etc., etc. So you will find all of the important information as far as how to apply here on this page. We also have on this page a couple of links to our scholarships portal. You'll find them within the page, but also you will find our link up here. So from any page, our home page, the supply page, our scholarships portal link will be here. So from this page, I'm going to go to our scholarships portal and show you what it looks like from there. Here is our login page. You'll see we have a little bit of information to the right. So if you are a new user, you would create your account using this button here. And to the right, we do have a disclaimer For those of you that are graduating high school seniors or going to be this spring and you're creating an account with us, we just ask that you do not use your high school email address when making your account. Once you graduate, or once your student graduates, they will lose access to that email, and our system sends messages and updates to the email you use when you register. So if you can, please try to create an account with a personal email address. So I'm going to log in here and show you what the applicant dashboard looks like, and also how to navigate to our apply page. So now you'll see this is what your applicant dashboard looks like before you begin applications. Once you submit an application, if you are matched with any scholarship opportunities, you will see those here. There are two ways to get to our scholarship opportunities from our portal. You have the See Opportunities button here and the Apply button up above. So now once you're in the Apply page, you will see over here to the left is a brief overview of just more the same materials that you'll find on our website, as well as our deadline. You can click into that and find more information. And as you scroll through, you'll see our main 2026-2027 NCCF scholarships application is found here. This is our main application, and it houses a majority of our scholarships. But if you scroll down, you will see that we have a few other scholarships that do not live on this main application, mostly because they have different deadlines. And to find the deadline for each opportunity, you just look down here in this bottom left corner. So I'm going to do a quick overview of our main application. We'll just do the first portion to show what it looks like when you complete it and you get matched. So you will click Apply in the bottom right. First, you will see some introduction information. It's just a disclaimer letting you know this is a multi-step process. So I'm going to go through. It asks you a little bit of information about yourself as a student. I'm going to say I'm a Wake County student and a graduating high school senior. Fill out some of this information. Oops. Okay, pop in my GPA information. There are some additional questions here for other opportunities. For this demo, I'm going to say no. My high school county, I will make it Wake. We'll say I'm going to Wake Forest High School. It is public. We do ask for SAT and ACT information, but this is optional. If you are a student that did not take either, you can select no. For these purposes, I'm going to select SAT, pop in my score. We also have a button here where you can go ahead and upload your documentation of your scores as well. And then here's where you will pick your college or university. We don't have every single college or university on this list. Again, this is mostly, this list is for matching purposes. But if it's not on the list, you can just select not listed and a drop down will pop up for you to input your chosen college. We'll say I'm accepted. I will be a freshman. I will be attending a North Carolina college, yes. Here's where you pick your field or major. You can select up to 3, but if you do not know what your major is, you are free to check undeclared or not listed. I'll say I'm going to be a STEM major, and then down here my intended specialty. Maybe I don't know, I know I want to go in STEM, but I'm still unsure of my major, so maybe I'll just say undecided. And then a few other matching questions throughout the end here that you can complete. Again, another section for sports and extracurriculars. We'll say I was in cross country. Again, if you were a sport participant and you see this list and your sport wasn't listed, you can go ahead and select other and put your sport at the bottom. Here is our financial needs section. I'm going to select yes, and when you select yes, you will see the additional financial information section drop down. We do ask that if you want to be selected for Financial need-based scholarships, which is a majority of our scholarships. If you want to be matched, you do need to select yes and provide your FAFSA information here. So we ask for the student aid index number. We do ask that you upload your FAFSA submission summary. Here, you do not need to upload the complete FAFSA submission summary, just the page that shows your SAI or your student aid index number will be fine. We'll say I'm going to use financial aid and scholarships to pay for college. We also ask for your estimated amount of need. This doesn't need to be an exact number, and if you're unsure, you can put 0. We also have a student financial statement section in our additional financial information section. A lot of people feel that they complete the FAFSA, but it doesn't accurately represent their current financial situation. If you've completed a FAFSA, you know it takes your information from 2 years prior, so it takes your tax information from the prior 2 years, and your current situation today may not reflect that. So we also have this statement here you can use to explain that. We'll say no for swim team. I'm not going to the humanities and social sciences. Won't be a student in New Hanover, or a nursing student, or attending a college in Western North Carolina. And so once you complete those questions, you'll be brought to our submission section. We encourage you to stop and read this before you click submit. It's just a disclaimer that tells you, again, our deadline of March 3rd here, and also that if you are matched, there will be required additional questions and materials you will need to submit to us. So that is the first portion of our main application, and I'm going to click submit and see what we get matched with. Oh, sorry, hold on. Gotta upload my fake FAFSA submission summary real quick. 1 second. This will do. Okay, there we go. Now it should allow me to get us matched. We'll give it a moment. Sometimes it does take a minute. We do have, again, over 130 scholarships in this main application, so it does take it a second to think. Alright, and there we go. Now you should see your confirmation page. If you do get matched with any scholarship opportunities, they will first show up here. They'll be listed here in the middle, along with the criteria associated with that scholarship. They'll also be named here at the bottom. So you can see I was matched with 3 scholarships. So once you click continue, it should bring you back to your it'll pop you right into your application for the first opportunity. So you don't have to complete this right away. You can go back to your dashboard and they will all be saved here for you, right here on the left. Okay, so I'm gonna hop out of our demo here and back into our presentation. Parker, can you confirm that you can see my slides, please?
Not seeing the slides right now.
Okay, hold on. Let me bring it over here really quickly. Let me see. Okay, we're gonna share there and see what she does. Okay.
And Jordan, you can let me know if you want me to share from my end. I don't mind.
Yeah, I would. I think my computer is getting a little unhappy with me. So if you don't mind popping up the common question slide, that would be great.
No problem.
Perfect. Thank you, Parker. Okay, so now that you have seen our website and have been able to take a look into our main application, we'll jump into some common questions that we get. So again, one of the main questions we get is, what if I did not complete a FAFSA? Though a majority of our scholarships are financial need based, you do not have to submit your FAFSA information if you don't want to. If you don't submit your FAFSA information, though, you will not be filtered into the pools for those opportunities that have that financial need requirement in their criteria. Another common question is, my recommender is not receiving the email request. What can I do? So once you get to that second portion of the application, when you're matched with opportunities, you upload letters of recommendation via the recommender. So you input their email and they receive a link to upload for you. So sometimes they don't get that email request, and so why might that be? First, you should reach out to us here at the foundation. We'll share our email at the end. But when you reach out to us, we can take a look at your application from the back end and confirm that maybe the email was spelled incorrectly. We can correct that. Also, we can look and see if the system emails are being blocked by that individual's firewall or server. A lot of times, especially when you input your counselor to upload your transcript for you, they put their high school email address and the firewalls will block us. So once in a while, that could be an issue. Also, from time to time, applicants may change the person that they want to upload a recommendation letter for them, and they change it in their application. Changing recommenders no longer allows prior recommenders to upload for you. So once in a while, we run into bumps and glitches with our system, and sometimes it's just because of a change. But if you reach out to us, we can alleviate that for you. Another common question, I was not matched with any scholarships. Why might that be? So we will say all of our scholarships have specific criteria to each of these opportunities, and so you may just have characteristics or qualities that don't align with that criteria at the time. So we encourage you, if you didn't get matched on our main application, to also look at the scholarships that live outside of our main application. We have a couple of statewide scholarships that have very broad criteria. Also, if you didn't get matched, can you flip back one more, Parker? If you were not matched and you are unsure why, or if there was a specific scholarship you were looking to match to, you can reach out to us by email or call, and we can look into that for you as well. Okay, so we also get a lot of questions about awarding and when you will find out. So award decisions are made by committees throughout the spring. So once we close our application March 3rd, we send out those applications to committees usually within the following days. And they have until the end of May to make those decisions and get back to us. Some committees are quick about making their decisions and get their recommended awardees to us right away, and some wait all the way until the end of May to let us know who they pick. Throughout the spring, we do our best to update the status of each scholarship award, so you can check back in your portal pretty frequently and see if one of your opportunities has been decided or not. So we'd say you'll be notified if you receive an award no later than June. We do have those few scholarships that have deadlines that are a little bit later in the summer, so you'll know maybe later in the summer for those, but a majority of our awards are made and decided by the end of May, so you should hear by June. So once you are awarded, what happens next? We assign our scholar information form to you, which can also be found in our scholarships portal. That's a quick form we ask you to fill out where you input your chosen college information as well as your student ID. Those are two key pieces we need in order to pay out your scholarship. Payments are also made directly to colleges. We do not make payments directly to students. They go right to the college. So the sooner you complete your scholar information form and give us that information, the sooner we can get that payment out to your chosen college. And lastly, we do have an awarding policy here at NCCF, and our scholarship awards are only issued to not-for-profit institutions. So always double check your college to make sure they are not for profit. And the last topic we wanted to talk to you all about quickly is scholarship displacement. Scholarship displacement occurs when receipt of one form of financial aid results in a reduction in another form of financial aid. And generally that means grants and scholarships from your chosen college might be reduced because of your scholarship from us or any other outside institution. So we're seeing this become more and more prevalent throughout the years, but we encourage you to reach out to your college, their financial aid office, or look on their website and see what their outside scholarship policy is. Many colleges are now developing policies that cap how much outside scholarship money you can get before they start taking away their own institutional aid given to you. So do your research, especially before you accept a scholarship, because we don't want you to accept a scholarship from us and then lose money from your college. Again, work with your admissions office and financial aid department to determine the best financial outcome for your situation. All right. And so that is everything we have to share with you today. This is our email here at the foundation, scholarships@ncommunityfoundation.org. You can email us here with questions, if you're having an issue with your application, if you need your application adjusted, all of those inquiries can be sent to us there. So, Parker, do we have any questions that have been given to us in the chat that we want to answer live?
We do. Let's do it. And we have a good amount of time left. So I am going to open the questions and try to get through as many of these as possible. If your question isn't answered, or if you think of other questions, of course, do not hesitate to reach out to us. We're happy to do that. Let's see. Jordan, do you remember how many applicants we had last year?
I would say we had
It's approaching
around
2,000.
well over 2,000, yes. I
Okay.
would say closer to 2,500 to 2,600 applicants last year.
And we've gotten a lot of questions about people not knowing what college they plan to attend, or they're not going to have that information in time. I do just want to say, put your first choice of college. If you find out you're going to be going to a different college, you can let us know, or a scholarship administrator may reach out to you if they plan on awarding you a scholarship. You can let them know as well. There's a question. Someone is graduating with their associates, and basically, in short, you can be at any point in your academic career and apply for scholarships, as long as you're either a graduating high school senior, equivalent to a graduating high school senior. So you can be someone who's been out of high school for years and you're going back to college. You can be at any level within college. You can be going into graduate school. You can be going to a trade school or community college. We offer a wide range of scholarships for people at all levels. Can someone from an international country apply? We do recommend that you apply regardless. A lot of the scholarships that we offer are based on locations around North Carolina, so they might be county specific or region specific, but there are a few that don't have those kinds of criteria requirements. So you're welcome to apply no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Can someone from an international country apply? We do recommend that you apply regardless. A lot of the scholarships that we offer are based on locations around North Carolina, so they might be county specific or region specific, but there are a few that don't have those kinds of criteria requirements. So you're welcome to apply no matter what. And Jordan, if you want to put the link to the application in the chat, that would be great too.
Yep, I can do that.
Do applicants need to fulfill additional individual scholarship requirements after filling out the application? Nothing beyond the supplemental essays that you may receive as a result of the applications or scholarships that you're eligible for. But no, there won't be any, you won't have to do a certain amount of community service or something like that. It's all will happen within the application. After initially submitting, it appears you get a list of scholarships. As new scholarships come in on your end, will the app notify us to come back to address new opportunities? So every scholarship we have available is currently in the application portal. There will not be new scholarships added this year. Everything that we will award is currently in there. If eligibility changes for any reason, you will get notification that, for anything that you're eligible for. Is it possible for high school seniors to start applying at the start of senior year when they are doing college applications? Our application opened this year in mid-December, so you have to wait until our application opens. This year it was December 16th. We'll probably be around then or a little earlier next year. I mean, the goal is always to have this application open as soon as we can. This year it was December 16th. Next year it could be a little earlier, but it'll generally stay open for a couple months at least after that.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asking about their GPA. Their school operates on a 5.0 scale. Is it okay to put something more than 4.0 in? Yes, it is. You can list your GPA as whatever it is, and your scholarship committee will reach out to you if they have any questions. For financial need question, if I do not need financial need, should I put yes anyway? You don't have to. That's going to be your personal preference. There are certain scholarships that require that you put yes. And, in that case, you can put yes and just upload your FAFSA information, list your SAI. Some scholarships sort of balance between merit and need and weigh things differently. But if you don't feel that you may be eligible for anything on the need end, you can always click no, and we offer scholarships that don't include financial need as an eligibility requirement.
Someone asked, do the recommenders have the same deadline we do? And yes, that is correct. Recommenders also have to have their letters of recommendation uploaded before or on the deadline for your scholarship. And with that, someone asked, you don't have to have physical recommendation letters to upload. You just list an email and allow the recipient to respond. Yes, that is how it works. You will input their email in the application, and our system will send them a link to upload. Someone asked, are essays the only requirement for the scholarships, or are there additional materials for each scholarship? I believe outside of the necessary questions, there is an essay piece and just a letter of recommendation piece. But Parker, I don't think there's anything
A
else for the
list
second
of
year.
extracurricular
Oh,
activities is
yes,
also
sorry.
a supplemental question.
That's right.
So for extracurricular activities, that's where you can list things outside of school that you're involved in, or also clubs and things like that within school that you participate in,
Yes, thank you, Parker.
or even anything like jobs you have. I mean, anything at all. I mean, the more information you provide, the more the scholarship committees will get a picture of who you are as an applicant.
Yep. Somebody asked, what are the likelihood of winning scholarships through your program? What percentage of students who apply get awarded? And I think that fluctuates, considering we take on more scholarship opportunities each year. Also, not every scholarship runs every single year. Sometimes they run every few years. An exact percentage, Parker, I don't think we have that off the top of our heads.
I don't have that percentage off the top of my head, but I will say that it does fluctuate and it varies. And there's some applications, if you're from a more rural county, there may be less applicants, and maybe there are scholarships specific to that county, in which case there'll be a smaller applicant pool, which will up the likelihood that you may receive an award, or perhaps you're pursuing a more niche major that has scholarships specific for it, in which case that would limit the applicant pool. Uh, Really, we encourage applying no matter what. The application is free. It's pretty quick to run through. It just doesn't hurt to apply.
No. Another question, are any of the scholarships an annual award for each of the 4 years, or are the scholarships a one-time event? Some of our scholarships are renewable across 4 years. There are some that are a 1 year, but that is because the criteria states that you have to be a graduating high school senior.
You'll be informed of renewability if you receive an award. They will let you know, or we will let you know if it's a one-time award or a renewable award.
Yep. Is the student ID our high school one or our college one? We will need your college ID. We print your student ID, your college student ID, on the check when we mail it to the college so they can figure out who you are at the school. In the university section of the application, it asks about the acceptance status of the college you plan on attending. What should I pick if I got deferred? I think you can select waitlist.
Yep,
We'll go from
waitlist
there.
is an option. That would be the equivalent in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Can these scholarships apply to room and board or only tuition? I think most of our scholarships can be applied to tuition. Some are housing, but a majority of our scholarships cover tuition, books, and fees.
Yeah, and some can be applied to room and board. Some of that is institution based, how they are willing to apply scholarships. So that's where we recommend you talk with your admissions office and you talk with the financial aid office and work with them to determine the best financial outcome for you with your scholarship. If you have any questions about what your scholarship can be applied towards, please reach out to us, or you can put us in touch with your financial aid office and we will review the award criteria and let them know as well.
Another great question, do the two reference emails have to be teachers at school, or could they be from an outside sports teacher? Yes, they could be from a coach. They could also be from an employer. Can this be used for private colleges in North Carolina, like Wake Forest University? Yes, we do award to private colleges. So I saw an email for the Zoom that said one application would apply to participants for multiple scholarships. Can you touch on that, please? Yes, our main scholarships application is the one that can match you to multiple opportunities at once. So if you were able to see the demo a little bit earlier, you'll saw I filled out those few questions and was able to get matched to 3 different scholarship opportunities. So that our main scholarships application is the one that can match you to multiple scholarships. We have another question. When do we typically get back to applicants if they've been awarded? So again, our committees are meeting throughout the spring. Once we close on our March 3rd deadline, we send applications out to committees right away, and they have until the end of May to decide. So you could hear back by the end of March, early April, but typically you will know about all of your scholarship opportunities by the start of June. And if I'm waiting on FAFSA results, can I update my financial needs section later after submitting? You are able to make any updates to your application before the March 3rd deadline. So if you're still waiting on your FAFSA results now and you've already submitted everything, but you get your FAFSA results, say, in a couple of weeks, you can shoot us an email and we can go in and adjust any of that information for you. Another question, who qualifies as a recommender? It could be a teacher, a coach, or an employer. Is there a list of all of the scholarships available? Yes, you can find the list of scholarships available on our website. I'll also go ahead and put our apply page link in the chat, and there you will find our list of scholarships.
Here, Jordan, I can take over, give you a little
Okay.
talking break.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are applicants considered on a first come, first served basis, or are all applications reviewed after the deadline before selections are made? The latter. So the committees and scholarship administrators do not see any applications until after applications close. Once they close, we send them all at once. So, if you're waiting on your FAFSA, if you're waiting on someone to get back to you to be a recommender, that's totally fine. It's not a first come, first served basis at all. All applications will be received by the committee at the same time. What is generally considered the monetary threshold for eligibility for financial needs scholarships? That is sort of a flowing scale depending on committees. Let's see. Oh, another question about if some are renewable or if they're one time. There are many renewable scholarships. There are also some that are one time. You'll be informed whether or not your scholarship is a one-time award or a renewable award. Is there only one recipient for each scholarship? Some, yes, some have as many as 10 to 15 recipients. So it really depends on the scholarship, the budget of that particular scholarship, how much money it awards out, and how much is available just for awarding. So, if a scholarship has if it's just a $2,000 scholarship, that might go to one person. If a scholarship has a budget of $50,000, that might get split amongst multiple recipients. Is March 3rd the deadline for all scholarships, or do individual scholarships have separate deadlines? March 3rd is the deadline for the majority of our scholarships. So around 130 scholarships that use our universal application have that March 3rd deadline. There are about 16 other scholarships with individual applications that you'll be able to see in our portal, and you'll be able to see the criteria for them. They have different deadlines that are listed, and you can apply for those individually if you are eligible for them. We have a question about FAFSA and citizenship status and residency. We basically recommend anyone submit their FAFSA if they are able to complete the FAFSA, regardless of their status. They're still allowed to complete a FAFSA, and then committees can determine eligibility. If I use the filter option on the website, so if you apply through the scholarship, through the universal application, and you don't qualify for any scholarships that return if you use the filter on the website, but don't qualify for any scholarships, should I still apply? Yes, you should still apply. There may be some elements of criteria that you aren't seeing. The filter on the website is basically just based on county. So there could be some statewide scholarships that you're eligible for, or maybe some other scholarships that, you just missed when you looked. I still recommend applying. Is a student on visa completing high school from North Carolina eligible for scholarships? Yes, you can still apply for scholarships with the North Carolina Community Foundation. Let's see. Is it weird to have not been considered for any scholarships at all, or is that a relatively normal response? It does happen just because of the specifics of the criteria. There's a wide range of criteria, but sometimes, a student's eligibility just doesn't happen to line up with the ones that we offer. My daughter is going to a 2-year school first. Will the scholarship transfer if she goes to a different 4-year school after the community college? Yes. So if they receive a 4-year renewable scholarship that can be applied to both community colleges and 4-year schools, that scholarship can be transferred. So most of our renewable scholarships, you just let us know each year which school you will be attending. So if she's going to be going from, Wake Tech to NC State, she can just let us know that the year that she does that transfer. How should I round my GPA if it is 3 decimal places? I would just use the typical, if it's zero point 0.5 or higher, you can bump up that second decimal place. Should recommenders tailor letters to NCCF, or is it a general letter, or is a general letter acceptable? A general letter of recommendation is probably preferred, since you may find that you're eligible for multiple scholarships throughout the community foundation. A general letter that's just, you know, recommending you as a student individual is probably the preferable option. Can the same essay be reused across multiple NCCF scholarships? So the good thing about that is most of our scholarships have a general essay. And when you complete that general essay once, it immediately is completed for all of the other scholarships that require that essay. There are some scholarships that have other specific essays, and you'll just have to fill out those for those specific scholarships. But any award that has a specific essay like that, you won't have to do it twice. Can you detail the individual 16 scholarships? How do you access them? You'll access them the exact same way that you access the universal application. You just scroll down a little bit and you'll see the criteria for all 16. They each have their own quirks of criteria, so you can read through those and determine if you're eligible. It should be pretty clear. And if you have any questions, just reach right out to us. No problem at all. Should I submit the FAFSA summary if I haven't been offered anything yet? Just submit the estimate. I'm not sure I understand that question exactly. If your FAFSA has given you your SAI, your student aid index, that part is required. And the FAFSA summary download that you download from the application is what you would upload when you provide your SAI. If there's some outstanding part of your FAFSA that you're still waiting on, you can wait to provide that information before you submit your scholarship application. As long as you submit it before midnight on March 3rd, it's all good. What is required in the follow-up form after receiving an award? There are the school you're planning on attending, or the school you have been accepted to attend, rather, your student ID number, and then there are a short list of questions regarding, you provide short answers of why you're attending that particular school, why you are pursuing particular degrees and background information, and a message of gratitude to the donors. It's not very long. The form is very short, so it doesn't take a whole lot of time, and we'll be sending you plenty of reminders to get you to finish it. All right.
All right. Thank you
I need a
both
sip of
so
water now.
much. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, get Parker and Jordan some water. So I want to thank you both for, joining this webinar and giving all of the information about North Carolina Community Foundation. Very helpful for our students across the state and our families. And I do want to say to those of you who have joined, if you didn't have a question answered or if you missed something, we will be sending out the recording and the slides of this webinar to everybody who has attended. So you will get both of those things in case you have any questions. You can always reach out to us and the North Carolina Community Foundation if you have any questions as well. I know that many, many, many excellent questions were submitted throughout this webinar, and they were all pretty much answered. So thank you, Parker and Jordan, again for your time and for answering all those questions. Go get yourself some food, go get yourself something to drink.
Thank you.
And to those of you who have joined us, I want to thank you for spending your Tuesday evening with us. We hope this was very helpful. If you do want to join other helpful webinars like this, like I said, you can find them on cfnc.org/events. But to everybody, I want to say have a great night and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you both, and thank you, everybody.
Cool. Thanks, Tyler.